Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. I want to show you why I'm currently in a short. If we do push up, I'll be adding to my short. I'm going to show you a few charts and show you how I found a particular target. Also, why it's possible in the next 2 to 3 months we could have a black swan event. It's also possible in the next 2 to 3 months maybe something happens that's bullish. Again, rings are just indicators for a potential move. It does not mean it has to be up or down. It just means that's the point where something will happen. I just think it's more likely when we cross it, it will drop. But I do want to give you these key levels to pay attention to. Coincatch is no KYC, guys. Remember, if you use a VPN with no KYC, you can use that to your advantage. If you want to learn how to trade on Coincatch, guys, there's a tutorial video I put up. I need to update this video soon. But basically, it shows you how to create your account, set up your account, transfer funds to your futures account, and how to use the tools for trading. I'll link this video now if you want to check it out. So I will zoom out of this chart in just a minute. I want to cover a few things. Obviously, you can see there's this trend line right here. Hit Control Z to undo. And we have our trend line right here, which is our previous high. You can see that's also resistance. So again, this is a 0.2 chance to short. If we get above that, obviously we're going much higher. I'm going to break all this down. In the last video, I'll link up to it now if you want to check it out. I told you guys to short 96,000. That was the central Bollinger Band on the daily. You can see down here, I have closed caption. It says short 95.7 up to, let's just call it 96K. And we did get rejected from that point. In Discord, by the way, guys, if you do sign up to get access to the live charts in Discord, make sure you email me through the contact page. And once I verify you have an account, I will then send you a Discord invite link. But in Discord, again, so we were short. You should have shorted 96K. We dropped from that point. We did catch where Bitcoin dropped, and if you watched the previous video, these levels were covered. We dropped down. Your next support level is 90,000 to 88,700, and take note this fib channel line here. Notice we broke that key support level that I said was possibly a neckline. We found support there, and we pushed up, as you can see. And also I created this, and this is what I'm going to show you. This is why I think this is an ideal point to short. Obviously, if you get above that, well, we're going much higher. But let's go through these. So basically, I created this channel. I'll show you how I did that. And we were at critical support, just showing that it looked like it was bullish. You know, there was liquidity above. Obviously, the CPI data came out. I think it was what they projected, but it wasn't exactly bullish. Markets are pushing up. Let me go to the next one here. But the last one I put out, this was yesterday, and I was bullish. I was saying, guys, look, the DXY is breaking support. I'm going to show you that. I said next key support is around 108K. We did find support on the DXY there. This is bullish for Bitcoin. A daily open above 96.3 could be bullish, and I'll show you that. We did push up. I said there's a lot of liquidity up around 100K, so that seems like a likely target. But basically, I was just showing we were bullish up to potentially 100,000, and notice DXY is breaking support. Next support level was at 108. So obviously, if we hold support here, then you might be wanting to look for short entry for Bitcoin. And then we're going to cover everything else. So again, I opened my short right here, right at 99,500, because this is a very key level, this line right here. And let me take this off and make this some color where you can see it, guys. So this is where I opened my short. Obviously, we can push above that point, but this is what I was talking about. Notice we came down, we found support right around here, around 89,832. We actually dropped all the way to 89,055 on, this is a Coinbase chart. And we pushed up, and I made a post, said, look, if we hold above the central Bollinger Band, 95,400, that's bullish up to 99,500, potentially 100,000. I did open a short here. Again, what I like to do when I enter a short is use lower margin. So I start out with $1,000 at 30x. We push up, I'll add $1,000 to it. We push up higher, add another 1,000. We get above that point, then I'll close it. But if we continue down, every time we push up to resistance, I'll add more margin, and then just continue doing that as we push down. But I'll give you key levels, just want to cover that. So the reason I think this is an ideal point to short, now notice that we did break this neckline right here. This was, list is like resistance, support, 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 support. We got a little fake out. We came right down to this fib channel line right here and pushed up. So it looks like your current resistance, and again, I'm laddering up to that point. Actually, I'm laddering up. I'm going to enter a little bit before that. But your most critical resistance is around 100,723. And basically, if you notice, I just put this trend line here. Notice that you see these 3 wicks. Let me get my little brush tool here. So there's a wick here, and that gave you this wick here. It was right by this this fib channel line in this direction right here. We pushed up. So basically all I did was using that, because we knew that price was respecting these three wicks, right? So basically I just created a fib channel, this right here, and just basically used that and adjusted it. So you can take the top right here. Notice the center dotted line. Just moving the center dotted line up to where price seems to be respecting it. And let me just go ahead and undo that. So you can see right here, this was resistance, 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 flipped as support, resistance, support, resistance, got above it, held as support. All right, this is maybe the top of this channel we're in. We came down, found support, pushed up, right? Resistance, 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 found support, resistance, support, drop below it, found support. So it looks like this is possibly a channel we are in. So this looks like an ideal point to short. So again, I'm laddering into my short. So on the D1 chart, and I did say this in Discord, guys, that if we got an open above this point, that would be bullish up to potentially 99,000 to 100,000. A lot of liquidity around 100K, mentioned that in the previous video. So I do think this is a point to potentially open a short. If we get above that and hold support, well, then your next resistance level will probably be a double top around 108,000 wherever we make contact. But again, to me, it's worth chancing a short here. Your next support level just below, guys, is going to be down here. Take note, we have the neckline. If this is a head and shoulders, we'll have to see. It's looking a little iffy right now. This could be some kind of, if we just pull this out, it could be something more like this. We'll just have to see. Something like this until we break out of it. Now that would be a bullish pattern, but if we get rejected at this point, again, you're looking to potentially come down to at least 92,000. Definitely 96,000 would be a great point to chance along. But again, I'm just showing you the charts. I just think this is an ideal point to chance a short, and that's what I'm doing. If you take note, the DXY, so this is what I was talking about. We broke the support level right here. Once we broke the support level, that's what I'm saying, it's likely Bitcoin would push up because that would be bullish. We broke below this point. DXY came all the way down to 108. I made a post in Discord. The DXY is holding strong. Let me go down to this point here. DXY is holding strong, so that's why I shorted at this point, and I'll let everybody know when I entered my short. Let me go back to Coincatch and zoom out and just show you this. So this trend line here, I'm just making a different color. So this is basically just the resistance level right here. But if you zoom out, and this is what I like to do, is just find different ways to find key points to short. So basically I just drew a parallel channel, or just a trend line on top of this channel that price is respecting, and just pulled it up to where resistance is, right? So you can see right here, you've got resistance, 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 resistance. Hit Control Z. You can see right here it was support, support, resistance, support. So that gives you a confluence for a point to short. And let me zoom in, and that's why I'm laddering in on my short here. And that target, let me give you a price label here. You know, that potentially takes you up to, you know, the resistance level is around 100,200. We could get a wick up to 100,500. So again, that's why I'm chancing a short at this point. And again, it's safer if it's hard to get an entry. So what you do is if you think we're going to drop from resistance, you enter with lower margin. I use 30x, so I would enter with $1,000. It pushes up, I'm losing less. Once this next short, I have a trigger short. So basically when price, sorry guys, my computer's a little unstable, undervolted it a bit. I need to adjust that. But notice we pushed up, almost hit this point right here. If it would have hit that point, this short would have triggered, so I'd be even in more profit. And again, as we come down, I will add to that. You see price is actually dropping right now. So that's why I like to enter early to get that good entry. Because if you're using less margin, if it pushes up, you'll be losing less money. Getting that first entry is what's important. And again, if it pushed up, then I'd be $2,000 at 30x. If this one triggers, I'd be $3,000 at 30x. So I'll be losing a lot more money if we continue up. So obviously I'd want to get out above this point. And if we come down underneath resistance levels as we push up, I'll add to my short. But to me, that looks like an ideal point to short. And that's how I'm playing it right now. But again, the DXY is holding, it's pushing up. Let's see if we can get above 109. You know, if the DXY gets rejected at this point and we break 108.5 with the DXY, well, that's going to be bearish. We're in this channel. So if the DXY, it breaks this point, right, gets below, let's say 108.5, well, then we are probably going to have some downside with the DXY, which would be bullish for Bitcoin. But to me, again, looks like an ideal point to short. If you don't risk it, you don't get the biscuit. So again, that's why I'm chancing a short here. And again, I'll show you that ring, why I think something major is going to happen. But again, that's where I'm looking for, you know, adding to my short up to that point, just because this channel looks like what we're in, just because you can see this resistance here. Again, there's a lot of support resistance in this area, so this kind of looks like our resistance we should be paying attention to. I don't repeat myself, but if we get above that point, I will close it and I'll go long up to at least our previous double top. If I zoom out though, guys, I do want to show you this ring. I do believe that when we cross this ring, now we could hit this ring and ride up it a bit, but I do believe, go back and watch some previous videos where I covered this ring, but I do believe when we cross this ring, something major is going to happen, which will cause a drop. And that is about, at current price, that is roughly 81 days. Obviously, if we go higher, we're further from the ring. And if we drop, we are closer to the ring. So for instance, if we drop down to, let's say, our next key support level, which would be this yellow trend line, that would be about 73 to 74 days so we make contact. But I believe something major is going to happen when we cross this ring, whether it's down here, up here, wherever it's at. I do believe we'll get a major move. Now we could ride up the ring. I would probably go long when we make contact with the ring, but when we cross a ring, that's when I'll go short. And remember, you can get access to all these live charts, guys. But again, as I mentioned in that last video, so let's say that we do come back down. Let's say we get rejected around 100,000, 108,000, around this resistance area. If we do break these key support levels, again, if we come back down, this is kind of a fake out. I think a lot of people were expecting a head and shoulders. It came down and liquidated a lot of longs, liquidated some shorts. But I do think it's very possible if we do come back down and get rejected. The bottom of this channel is now around what? This is going to be around 89,179. But again, like I said, your strongest support level, your first strongest support level is 84,300, depending when you make contact. That I would go long at that point and then see if we get rejected. But again, that is your first strongest support level. And then if we do continue down, remember what I said, guys. This level down here is going to be your strongest support, 75,000 down to potentially 73,000. I would definitely long 75,000. That would fill the gap. But again, regardless what price we're at, I would only be scalping. You know, scalp some shorts, scalp some longs. I would not be holding any positions. You know, if you're hodling and you expect us to go to the moon, you know, hold your position. I'm just swing trading here. But I do think that major move will happen when we cross this ring. And I think something, maybe a manufactured black swan event, I don't know what it might be, but something major is going to happen when we cross this ring. These rings do indicate a major move. Again, I would long at contact. Maybe we ride up the ring, but once we cross it, that's when I'd go short. So again, guys, that's it. Let's see what happens with the DXY. Let's see if it holds and pushes up. That would be bearish for Bitcoin. We are currently at resistance now, so pay attention to see if the DXY gets above 109.4. That would be bearish for Bitcoin. If the DXY drops and breaks 108, that would be bullish for Bitcoin. But again, that's the level I'm paying attention to. If we get above that, I'll have to close my shorts. Your key levels right now. So the next key level I have above, this is hourly. This is the daily, by the way, and I did mention that the MACD and the RSI did look bullish. And that's why I was expecting some upside, but I think we're close to a resistance level to chance that short. But you can see we're getting rejected at this point. So again, if we come down and then let's say, you know, if we get rejected here, you know, I'm only at $1,000 in my $1,000 at 30x. I'm not making that much money. So what happens is if price comes down, and then we get rejected at a certain point, well, I'll add to my short at this point, expecting more downside. We get below this point, add to my short. But I do want to hold this short because I just think we're looking a little toppy. There's a lot of liquidity at 100K. You know, we could push up a bit, take that out, and that is why, again, I'm laddering in up to this point around 100,000, 300. That's where I'm going to my last point I'll ladder in. And again, if we get above that, I'll just close my short. But this looks like an ideal point to short just because of this potential channel we're in. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm sorry I didn't plan this out too well. I just want to get this up really quick. But again, guys, if you want to sign up for Coincatch, no KYC, the link's pinned in the first comment description. And if you want to watch that video, that's also pinned in the first comment description as well. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.